quite often.
So I look a bit crazy. I'd begun to start messing about with my wigs, and then I thought, hey, maybe I could film it. That's what I'm gonna do today. I say today, it's like 7 PM, half 6 almost. So I have a couple wigs from Amazon and I want to alter them. I always go to throw them on and then they just don't look quite right. Today I'm gonna be cutting them, washing them, and then hopefully not messing them up. Seems to be the premise of like all my ideas, doesn't it? I'm gonna put a photo of the wig. I'm gonna put a photo of the wig here. So this was the ad on Amazon and it basically just looked like that when it arrived. It's really nice. So I've already begun to part the wig. I'm kind of gonna get into it. All I know is I want a bit of the length, like 2 or 3 inches. This could change. I also want to thin out the wig because it's too bulky up here. I think this is quite a common problem for cheaper wigs. I mean, that's all I know. I've never bought an expensive wig. I think most I've spent is like £35 on one. I've already worn it out, which is why I'm going to be washing it. Yeah, so let's get into it. I have fashioned a wig stand thing out of a tripod and a polystyrene head and a fuck ton of sticky tape. I have already sectioned the main part, like the big bulky part is up here, which you can't see. But it's there, we'll get to that. Again, I'm going to reiterate in this video, I am not a professional in the slightest. So this is my first time actually cutting anyone else's hair, aside from my sister's, but she just wanted like a straight line, so this is me trying to do layers and stuff. This is 5 wefts in the back here. I think I'm gonna just try and keep the thickness of the bottom layers here just now because I want to thin out the top more. But yeah, I'm going to try and unpick the weft so that if I change my mind, I can add it back in, because we're all about doing something and then figuring out the ways to fix that. Gotta think ahead in these situations. Right, because I've already worn this out, it gets super tangled at the base of the neck here. The bar at the top's generally all fine, tangle-wise, aside from the ends because they're a bit dry and crusty now. This is the most tangled part. Whenever you brush a wig, if you didn't know, you brush from the ends to the roots. Because if you start here and then you keep pulling and pulling and pulling, you'll just end up stretching and then ruining all the strands. I'll brush this out and then cut it. Okay. Also brush wise, I just got this brush in like a hair care set from my auntie at Christmas. So this is just a random wooden brush. So I'm not using a wig brush, but as far as I can remember they're usually like ones that have solid bristles anyway. So we'll give it a shot. And a lot of the time for wigs, before I even go in with like a brush, just kind of like run your fingers through it to try and get the knots out before going at it with a brush, because it'll damage it less, hopefully. But basically a rule of thumb with wigs anyway, well synthetic ones, I'm sure real ones as well, is just be super gentle with it. If you want this to last, you still want to be able to wear it out and all that. But imagine it was like £500 or however much wigs, like good wigs are. And just treat it like that because it'll last you longer and probably end up just looking all round better anyway. Respect your wigs. Now that this section is fully brushed out, I'm going to go at it with a pair of hair straighteners. I'm pretty sure this is heat resistant. I'm almost positive I've used heat on this before. If it starts to, I don't know, die, then we know it's not. Because there's like these crinkly sections where this has been knotted and it's kind of kinked into the wig, and I do at the minute want this to be straight, so we're gonna have a go at with the straighteners and see if that if it works. So I'm gonna start with this wee section in the back because if it does crinkle up and die, then we know, and it's hidden. Oh, okay, it seems fine. Yeah, so I'm just gonna straighten all this.
Let's go.
Thought I'd show you a bit more of a close-up. So I am going through this weft by weft, and the hair when it arrived had like sort of like a slight kink to it. I don't know what that, it was like crimping throughout. So these are the bottom 2 wefts. So they're fully straightened out now. The reason I'm straightening it as well is because it just lies a lot flatter. So I'm going to be going through this weft by weft, which can be a long task. And now you're close up, you can see like the great taping. So I'm just going to start cutting it now. I'm thinking about like to there at the minute. 2.5 inches, I want to say. Oh, however long this is, I'm cutting this off. Also, I'm gonna be straight up about this wig. Do you know, genuinely to me, it feels like hair. Like when it tangles different than real hair, but it just feels like conditioned hair. So I really am stoked with it. I'd really recommend it. I mean, I might not be able to wear it by the end of this, but I definitely recommend it. There's like a small lace section at the front. I've now parted that from the rest, which is just wefts at the back, so I don't cut any of it. So if you can see, which I really hope you can, the wefts start here and then go down here, and then this whole back section wefts, and I have also separated the parts that I've already cut to the front here, just so I didn't get it mixed in when I was trying to find the new wefts, but I will unbobble I will unbobble this whenever I am back to cutting this, just so it stays the same length. So this is where I'm going to start taking out wefts. So I haven't cut this one at all as far as I'm aware, and I really doubt you'll be able to see that, but there's like a wee bit of stitching here, so I'm gonna clip that and hopefully the whole thing doesn't fall apart, but I hope it won't. I'm starving. It is, yeah, it's like 7:30 now, and I still haven't eaten today, so that's probably not great for me. So this is where that weft was, so there's quite a wee gap there. Like I said, if I change my mind, the weft is here, and it's fully intact. So I can just sew that back in if need be, which is why I took the actual weft out rather than just cut the hair, because then as well you'd have like wee sticky out bits and stuff. Yeah, so there's two wefts here like together. I'm going to leave this one at the bottom and take this one just above it out, because we're going to start trying to thin the hair. Oh my god, that looks so tangled. Look at the comparison. Look how nice and shiny and silky this part is, and this bit's just like, nope, nope, not today. So I've decided that I'm going to go back under and take out maybe 1 or 2 wefts, because this is super, super thick. Which is really great, because it's getting quite sparse up here, and that's fine, but it's still like super dense down here, and I've still got all that length, which I know will thin out whenever I try and like layer it. So yeah, there's tons of wefts in there, so I think I'll probably take out this one, because that's like right next to another one. Yeah. It's a bit thinner now. Let me just let down this bit, because I don't want to take too many out, because I mean, I'll be honest, maybe it's because I haven't eaten, but I can't be bothered to really swing them back in today. I'm still gonna have to wash it, so hopefully all the wee teeny kinks that are like on each strand don't come back. We'll see when we get to that, because it has been worn a few times on nights out. There's probably some sweat in there, which is really nice. The ends smell like armpits, because it's so long it like hangs down and then goes under my armpits whenever you lift your arms out when you're out. So that's really nice. So I'm just going to continue the same. Instead of just going through, oh, it looks horrendously shiny. I think the thickness is a bit more natural. These are the wefts that I've cut out already, or picked out rather. This time I'm going to go through as if I'm wearing it with a part. So I don't want to make, like see this for instance, I don't want this to be too thin. Oh my god, I have been doing this for 2 hours now. And what have I achieved? I haven't even like managed to finish trimming it yet. Oh, okay. It's now 8:30. So something to also bear in mind if you're doing this to a synthetic wig is that it is plastic. So say you straighten a piece, but then you like hold it like this and it's still warm, then it will kink to that shape. Just bear that in mind. One of the biggest issues I've had with this wig, and a big giveaway that it is a wig, is that it's too bulky up here. So what I'm doing right now is, and I've just done it to the other side, I'm going in with the straighteners. So this won't work with all wigs again, I just want to reiterate that. So what I'm doing is I'm going in at the root, holding it for like 2 seconds maybe, and then just like pulling it down. And then when you let it go, it'll lie a lot flatter than it was before. So I'm just doing that over the like the top section. Also, I guess another way to be able to do this would be to just like hold it down and then steam it, I think, with a steamer. But if you don't have a steamer, you could use a blow dryer. on like a high heat setting. I'm totally making all this up as I'm going along, but it seems to be, you know, kind of working, so I'm just going with it. Okay, so we are with a wee break in the middle, I guess. 4 hours into this, and I've just finished the parts where the wefts are. I've finished straightening it, I mean, and I've gone through it and I've trimmed a bit off all of them. I've trimmed some off of the main length, and then that's the top. So this is all just the wefts. This looks like a whole head of hair on here, like just in the front. So this will need to get thinned a lot. Yeah, I'm just gonna go through that just now. Like, I actually think the top here, even though it's not lace, is kind of fine. Yeah, it looks super shiny right now with the ring light and stuff. I really like it. I can't wait to see how it's gonna sit on my head because I'm still chilling with a wig cap on. Yeah, so I'm gonna start in front, and I'd honestly, like, I can't stress this enough. I have no idea what I'm doing. But we're just gonna go with it. I also don't have any wig glue, so I've just been using lash glue. And that's not looking so cute up in there. It's probably like my actual hair on there as well. Yeah. I have my actual strands of hair stuck to that from where I've ripped it off when I've been drunk and come home. Just been like, yeah, no, I'm gonna go plate this, it's fine. And it wasn't. Oh my goodness. Right, so there's so much hair on this. Like, look at the thick, God, this is just the lace front. There's like so much volume here in comparison to like the back here, so I'm gonna go through and do the same thing I was doing to the back, where I heat up the root and just pull it down to try and straighten it flat against the head. So this part's actually a lot easier to get, so I'm putting the straightener underneath the lace and then going on the outside of the hair and just kind of pressing it down. That seems to be working a lot better as well. I'm concerned about the lash glue that's stuck in the hairs because I genuinely do not know what will happen when the straighteners go on that. But I guess we'll find out right now. I mean, it's only slightly stuck on the hair straightener. Ooh, I think it burnt. It definitely burnt. Oh god. Okay, well hopefully the lash glue will come off when I wash it. This is how far I've gotten. I'm not even going to keep a track of time now. This is still very thick, so I don't know what I'm going to do about this, to be honest, because it's not like I can just take a weft out. So maybe I'll take from like the front of some wefts out so that when it falls it isn't as thick. If that makes any sense. So I really hope that you can actually see a difference when I show you this. I've done one side off the front. I've ironed, no, not ironed, what's it called? Straightened one side at the front. So that's the roots at the front. Yeah, you can't really tell. But this is the side I've straightened. It does look a lot flatter. This side's been brushed out as well. I've not just bumped it up. So I've been working on this wig for 6. We'll say 6 hours. I know it still doesn't look amazing on the head, but I need to wash it. Can I even lift my foot this high? No, I can't. Oh no, wait, I can. Look at that. There's hair all over the floor. I think I've shown all the wefts that I took out. I think I took out like 3. I'll do a recap when the wig's actually done. But in comparison to how the wig was, this is a big improvement. The wig wasn't necessarily bad. Like, I wore it up into like space buns. Oh, sorry, I'll actually show you the top. So, it's very wiggy. In comparison to how the wig was, it's a lot better. I mean, it's great that it comes with so much hair, but it was a lot. So, I think I'm gonna wash it just now and then see what state that leaves it in. I have some wig shampoo. It doesn't look like that has a best before date, which is great. I'll see if it actually smells okay. I think it was pink, yeah. I think it smells the same as it used to. I've had this since I was in high school, I think, so that's a bloody while ago. So I'm gonna wash it with this. I hope it's picking up because I'm so pale. The brightness is adjusting to my face. And then this is so dark. It is dark brown, it's not black. I just look like such an angsty teen. Sorry, I keep looking at the viewfinder. There's so much weight in the front 2 bits that it just pulls everything down. Well, not the actual wig, but like, oh, there's just so much hair and I've already thinned out so much. Like, oh, I'll show you the floor. I sound mad. I should probably eat. I've only eaten one thing today and it's 1:30 AM. I'll put on a hat because that's what everyone does whenever the top looks bad, but the end goal of this video is to make sure the top doesn't look bad so I can do hatless days. All my cute hats are downstairs and we know I can't be bothered to do that. So we're doing a grey one. Can't see it against my fucking jumper. No! No! It's crazy how much hair is on this because I've thinned it out so much and it's still so thick. Like half of this head of hair is thicker in a bobble than my whole head of hair. I mean, that probably says more about how damaged and thin my hair is than how thick the wig is, but you get where I'm going with that. Yeah, definitely wear it with a hat. I don't want to be, because it's so obviously no, I'll do this. I have to. I've spent 6 hours on it now. I need to. Christ. I might actually need to keep it on my head and just kind of go at it with a pair of scissors at some point. Like I was cutting my own hair. Oh, okay. At the minute. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my god, it's so slippy. Right. I need to take these shoes off before I fall and hurt myself. I need to take these shoes off before I fall and hurt myself. I need to take these shoes off. This is the hair I've taken from thinning it out. This is me fully squishing it. That's like all the hair on my head. It's changed since I had the wig on. I have washed it now. All the crimping and kinks and stuff didn't seem to like come back once it got wet, so that's great. I am now working on the front, so it was still too thick here. I need to thin that out a bit, which I'll just clip at the root. But for the plucking, I'm going at it with a pair of, not pliers, tweezers. Basically what I'm doing is I'm just kind of looking in the mirror to see how my hairline looks and then just trying to recreate it. And I'm going from having it on this to trying it on to having it on this. Also, I tried to cut like a few, not layers per se, but I was just kind of like holding it and then going like that with the scissors just to give it a bit more structure rather than just being like straight cut. And I'm cutting the baby hairs. Well, I don't really have like styled baby hairs, but it just makes it look a bit more like it's actually growing from your scalp. So, aye. Oh, you also want to be quite careful, and I've already ripped a wee teeny bit. Not sure if that will even pick up on camera, but there's a wee hole here. Try to be as gentle as you can when pulling the hairs out, like only pull out 1 or 2 at a time. Try not to pick out a massive clump or else the lace will be more inclined to actually break, and we don't want that. I'm just going to apply some concealer to all the root parts here that are going to be showing. So this is quite a dark lace for my skin. I've also got these quite large wee parts where the hair is attached on. So I'm just going to kind of go at it with concealer now. So I think we're almost there. I've just got the top glued down, again with eyelash glue. I know I should stop doing this. I think I'm happy with the hairline. Like, I'm happy with how I've cut it into the lace. Because just having it like that is, it's not realistic. So I'm gonna pluck more from the front and see where we go from there. Oh god. This is all of her. All of it? All of her. As far as I could tell, this white wig was the exact same as the brown wig when it arrived, and I haven't altered this in the slightest, so I feel like this is the fairest comparison, despite it being a different colour. When I was saying they in the beginning of the video, I was planning on altering 2 wigs, but obviously time-wise that never happened. This wig in its description says it's 150% density in comparison to the brown wig, which says it has 250% density. To me they both seemed the exact same, so I hope this is a good example of how thick the brown one was before I did anything to it. Just notice the way it falls, how there's no real structure to it. Also, this wig is 24 inches long, whereas the brown wig was 20 inches long. So here's the finished result. It is late, so I might be sort of whispering. Yeah, I'm really happy with it. I know for some people that wear wigs more often and are more well versed with them than I am, this might not shape up to what they like or what they would deem suitable, but I quite like it. I think I'd be more than happy to wear this out. I will whenever we're allowed out again. Yeah, it just took forever to do it. Do I think it was worth it? Yeah, I mean, I'll be able to wear it out without doing much to it beforehand, so I'm still awful at gluing down. I am still using lash glue because the got-to-be stuff isn't vegan. Yeah, so I'm really happy with it. I'm definitely gonna get a little wear out this I know I don't really have any before photos, but it is a lot better than it was before. Oh, I'll show you the back. So in total I took out 5 wefts, so that's these. So this was the length beforehand. So it was down to here, and then I've cut it like up to here. So it's like, yeah. So I've got a big ball of all the hair that I thinned out of it. Okay, so let me explain. There's a little bit of hay in it because it was from the Hoover. I hoover up hay from the bunnies. So yeah, but I'll try and show you the side that isn't as hay-y. Yeah, so that's all the hair that I thinned out of it. I did actually, yeah, it's like a lot. So I did actually find out when I looked up this wig again that it's 260% density, I think it was called. So that explains why it was so thick. So I'll know never to get a wig that thick again because it's an incredible waste of hair for me to cut all that out. But yeah, I hope against the white wall you can see it. Yeah, I'm super happy with it. To summarise what I did to the wig, I went through weft by weft, obviously at the back, the front's like lace. So I went through weft by weft and straightened it all from root to tip, and then I took 5 wefts out. Then I flattened the roots just to try and get rid of some of the bulk up top, which I think was successful. And then I plucked the lace at the front to try and make it a bit thinner. It still looks really thick, but it is a lot thinner than it was. I may at a later date go back in to pluck it further, but I think I'm kind of done with plucking for now because it was a lot. And then finally I concealed the lace. Well, I tried to. You can still, like, okay, if you're up close I'm pretty sure you can see what a terrible job I've done. And then for the roots I just kind of like slap on concealer. But yeah, I think it's really sweet. Plus this is kind of how I'd wear my hair anyway, even though my hair's like a lot shorter. I always like pin back a wee bit here and then pin back a bit there on either side, so it's a lot more believable, even though it's clearly a wig because I'm terrible at gluing them down. But yeah, also in terms of the wig cap, like the mesh lining of the wig, I have put it down to pegs to try and make it more snug on my head. It seems to have worked. It doesn't budge anywhere at all. Yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. I hope you've learned a thing or two from it. I know I have through the process. Again, for the umpteenth time, I'm not a professional. I really don't know what I'm doing. Just kind of doing things and hope it works. And it seems to have done not too bad a job. If you have any suggestions or what I could do differently next time, then please do let me know. And yeah. So, till next time, see ya!